Welcome to Vivid Talk Live. I'm your host, Gwen Witherspoon. It's day 3 of Launch Party Week, and my purpose for going live every day is to introduce myself, the show, and my proprietary Vivid model. Thank you so much for joining me because you are the entire reason that I'm here. Join me live every day. Oh, my comments are not activated as well. So that's another reason why I didn't know you couldn't hear me. But anyway, join me live every day from this week from 7 to 7:30 Eastern Standard Time so I can walk you through the Vivid model and how you can apply it to your life. And in case you don't know me already, I'm the principal and chief visionary officer of Adam Red, an Atlanta branding agency. I'm hosting Vivid Talk Live as as a serial entrepreneur, brand strategist, and better life coach. My entire career has been dedicated to solving the identity crisis for myself first and foremost. And now that I've used myself as the guinea pig, I have to pass on what I've learned to you personally and for your business. Vivid Talk Live exists to cultivate the entrepreneur lifestyle by helping you get a vision for every area of life. It's about learning a fresh way of thinking and doing for all you were designed to build. You can watch live on gwenwitherspoon.com. And you can also get links to replays on your favorite networks. So make sure that you follow those channels so that you can get notifications when I go live. Now, introduce yourself in the comments. I can't see it, but Katrina Mitchell is going to help me and let us know what city and state you're signing in from. Okay, so say hey to Katrina, and I'll be right back. So it wouldn't be a party without presents. So let's go ahead and announce yesterday's daily prize winner. Now, I also want to let you know how you can get in on the fun. So I just saw a message. Oh, hello, Katrina. Oh, good. The comments are coming up on my screen. Awesome. So the way that you are going to get one of these fabulous mugs, I'm giving out at least one every day. It has the Vivid model on the back. And the way you're going to get it, first and foremost, is go to my website, gwenwitherspoon.com, and go ahead at the very top of the screen. You want to click on the quiz. What is the biggest obstacle to you being more successful in your business? So when you submit that, that's automatically going to enter you into the daily drawing. But you can also get additional entries by by liking and following in social media, commenting, sharing, any of those activities. So these are our social accounts. I love that. And so in addition to that, oh, I'm going to go ahead and spin the wheel so you can see who our winner was. Congratulations, Felicia Outlaw. I'll be reaching out soon to get your contact information so I can get you your mug. Now, there's another way you can win, and that is by entering our giveaway for Joystick. So Joystick is one of our sponsors. I want to thank them for supporting Vivid Talk Live. And the way that you're going to win one of these lovely items, the Joystick V-Stand is this fabulous portable tool that you can just take with you anywhere, and you can set your phone or your tablet on it in any direction. It expands and contracts based on the size of the item, so it's really cool. So all you have to do to win one of those is go and on Facebook and look for the Joystick V-shape holder giveaway. Go ahead and fill that in. You got 2 more days to enter, and we will be contacting you about that as well. So now, we started out this week. I started out really wanting to give you an overview of the Vivid model. And we talked about the fact that the Vivid model is really my proprietary way of helping you understand the process for how you write your vision, how you make it plain, how you make it vivid, so that other people can run with it. So the principle is you want to be able to write your vision on a billboard so that somebody running by somebody, I always think about speeding down, 285 or 85 or 75, right? Past a billboard at 85 miles an hour. People need to be able to glance at that billboard and get the message that quick so that they can run, so that they can read it and run with it. And that there is a process to making that happen. You don't make your vision plain or vivid just by writing it down one time. You have to go through that process over and over and over and over. And so VIVID is an acronym for vision, identity, voice, information, and development. And basically, you're going to use that process. You're going to use it over and over and over again. And it starts with vision. So vision is really about getting a big picture. Now, I'm not going to talk a lot about that today because we covered it on Monday, but I want to give you that quick overview for those of you who have not seen Monday's episode yet. So we're going to start with vision. You want to get that big picture. You got to clarify your vision. What is that big thing out in front of you that is so big that you cannot do it by yourself? It can't be something that's attainable. It always irritates me when I hear people talking about the American dream, right? Owning a home is the American dream. Well, owning a home is really not that big of a dream. Like, I understand if you don't have a lot of money saved up, especially, that may seem like an insurmountable dream, but there are houses being owned by people all around you. So clearly that's not that big a deal. Like, other people have done it, you have the ability to do it as well. There's so many other programs that make it possible. Like, you can see a clear path to how you actually get a house. So that's not really a dream. A dream is something that's just so far out, so big, that you really can't do it by yourself. And there's this gaping hole, I call it the wisdom gap, from where you are to where that is, like where you are and where you want to be. So your vision needs to be big. Like, just open your heart and your mind and just allow yourself to be free to imagine what is the most outlandish, amazing thing that you can set your sights on. That's what vision is about. And so then the next step in the model is identity. You have to understand who you are. Now, this week, I'm talking about the Vivid model for your personal branding, how we apply that to you as an individual. And I spoke on Monday about the fact that who you are is central to what it is you're trying to accomplish, what it is you're trying to build, no matter what it is, even if it's a company. If you notice, most brands, even legally, the United States government considers a company, a corporation, as a person. So that's why you can incorporate your business, and the business, you personally are not liable for what happens in the business, because now the business is basically a separate entity. It's a person. It really is regarded as a person, according to the law. So when you think about that and you apply that idea to branding, branding is about defining the personality. I call it the kind of engineering the DNA, of that corporation. And so even if you haven't legally gone through the steps to become a corporation, you've got to think of anything and everything that you are trying to build that way. And the reason that you do that is because you need other people. You want them to be able to see themselves in it. You want them to imagine whatever it is that you do, whether it's a service or a product, whatever you're offering. You want them to not be able to imagine their lives without it, right? And I think if you think about the things that the brand that you love, You know, what brand of car? What kind of clothing do you like to wear? What kind of sneaker? What kind of glasses? Like, I'm a brand girl every day, all day long, because I love there's an experience that you get with a brand. So when you're talking about personal branding, you got to think about what kind of experience do you want to create for people when they encounter you, when they encounter anything about what you do. So identity is about defining what all that is. Like, the worst thing you could say is, I don't care about how I look, because that's just not true. And it's not just about how you look either, but it's about how you show up. You think there's certain people that walk in a room and you're like, oh my gosh, did you smell them? Right? How do they smell? What was their voice? What was the tone of their voice like? Um, uh, how did they look at you? Right? Like, how did they make you feel in their presence? That's all about identity. What can people expect when they see you? And how are you showing up? So that's what identity is about. But yesterday we talked about 3 steps to solving your identity crisis. And so please go back and look at that. Then, and if you have any questions along the way, I only see one comment over here, but just in case I don't see your question, I've got Katrina there to help you, and there's probably some others of my team members as well that are online that can kind of help engage with you, and I will certainly look at the comments and everything afterwards and make sure that I respond. Okay, but so we finished off yesterday talking about identity. So today I want to talk to you about voice. Now, voice is about, let's see, in order for you to find your voice. So in the Vivid model on the mug, it says find your voice. So in order for you to find your voice and really to define your core message, there's a number of steps that you can take, or a number of things to consider. So one of the things I wanted to start with, because most of the people that I know that are in business or doing anything, trying to convent ministry, trying to help get people to contribute to a social cause. Like, now we've got all this activism going on. Anytime you want to basically get some buy-in around an idea, basically it's about defining your message. And really, a perfect example of that is I've been having some quasi debates with people around Black Lives Matter, right? So the little that I know about how it got started is that there were some Black women that created the movement that started it, right? And it came because they just wanted to draw attention to the fact that it seemed like Black men were getting killed, just way too often. And then there grew this controversy around the message, because there were people who got involved in it and probably can cause some trouble. And then other people started trying to say, now they're a terrorist group, they're their hate group, they're this. So they started trying to label them. So my point I'm making is about messaging. So think about it. It started out, the message was one thing. Hey, stop killing us. Our lives matter, Then somebody else came in and tried to change that message, to twist the message to, oh, they're hate. This is a hate organization, right? Just like they did with Black Panthers. They're revolutionary, they're this, they're that, right? So this is all about messaging. So then the conversation that I was having with this person was, they were like, well, Black Lives Matter is a positive idea, but because the messaging has gotten so twisted, they should change the messaging so that people can accept it, right? And so, of course, I wasn't buying into that at all. But my point with bringing that example up is just, when you are trying to find your voice, you've got to make sure that you have a very clearly defined core message, and that you stay on track. Now, and again, this isn't a political discussion in any way, but these are the examples that are coming to mind, because one of the things that Donald Trump is a master of is marketing and messaging. So whether we agree or we like the messaging, or you may love his messaging, so either way, he's the master of staying on task, staying on message, and shifting a message to however he wants it to be perceived, right? So, yeah, hey, Miriam. So, so it's just an example of how you need to be, how clear and consistent you need to be with your messaging, no matter what it is, so no matter what it is you're offering or selling. So that's one thing. And then another thing, what I hear often from people is they have difficulty, and you might, and let me know too in the comments if this is you. Do you have any difficulty posting in social media? What I found is oftentimes people that don't know what to say, even myself, even when I go to post in social media and I sit there and struggle, like, what is it? What am I going to say? How am I going to do this? What? Um, you feel like you're saying the same thing over and over again. I'll start every post with, "I'm so excited." And I'm like, okay, Gwen, you can't be that excited about everything. So it's a constant challenge. But what I find is it's easier to know what to post in social media when I'm clear about what it is I have to offer, when I've done the work to define my mission, my vision, my values, when I've written a clear slogan, when I have all those things clearly defined. It doesn't mean that it's a lot of writing. Like, a mission statement is just that, it's a statement. And what most people try to do is turn it into a paragraph, a soliloquy. They take this from this person over here and this from that, and they stick it all together and they just make sure it covers like every no, a really well-defined mission statement is short, very short. And once you are clear about what it is you're trying to accomplish, who you're trying to affect, in some cases even the scope of what you're trying to do, then that forms the foundation for then you to define what I like to call your vision statements. So mission is about what it is you exist to accomplish, but then vision is around how you're going to do it, like the way you're going to go about accomplishing it. What's the experience that you're going to be creating? And I like to use action words, and I'll generally make 3 to 5 different vision statements. And once I've defined that, now sometimes it's hard for me. The Vivid Talk live, the mission and vision for this. I'm already, see, every time I get something difficult, I start rocking. So this is the second day in a row I've been rocking. But trying to define the vision statements and the mission for this was the most difficult thing for me to do. And I think the more personal and the more important it is to you, sometimes the more difficult it is to get it out. But you've got to do the work to really pull it out so that it's something that is unique to you, that it really helps to define you specifically, as opposed to being a copy of someone else. You can certainly take cues from other places, from other companies, from other organizations, from other things that you've seen. Like, I'm constantly looking up definitions of words and pulling things out of that, and moving it around. So yes, you can start from something that you may have seen that somebody else did, but you want to make sure that you keep working it until it is unique and specific to you. And then once you have that mission statement, those vision statements done, then you can kind of create a slogan, right? Like, I'm in the marketing business. I've had a 30-year career in marketing communications. Started out as a graphic designer in an advertising agency. So that's been my foundation. I've worked in every possible marketing communications discipline. I jumped into digital marketing in 2013. So this is how I think and breathe. So the slogan you come up with, once you start working with a marketer or somebody that really does this for a living, they may not necessarily agree with that slogan. But what's important is for you to start from somewhere. So, and for you to be able to capture the essence of your messaging in your heart, right? So you have that slogan, your mission, your vision. Then it's really important to define your values. I have different values for each of the different things that I'm doing. All the brands that I'm building have different values. I have a set of values for my personal brand, right? The things that I care about personally. I'm all about Rhythm, revelation, and relationship. I define it in 3 words. Rhythm, revelation, and relationship are like the key to just what I do personally in terms of my relationships, everything I do, the how I approach everything that I do from a personal standpoint, and then I again go back to all my brands, and every brand has a set of values. So once you have all of that information, that is what informs what you post in social media, right? So I get you a good foundation of messaging that you use. And it's important once you have that established that you use it consistently, that you don't keep paraphrase your own statements. You want to present those statements as consistently as possible. I mean, it used to be in traditional media that we had to hear something, what, 5 or 6 times before we take action. And now in this digital media age, we have to, I mean, 13, 14, 15 times. You got to see it because we're so bombarded with messaging. So when every time you show up, some you have that messaging needs to be consistent. So you are training people what to think, and every time they see that message, it is carving a groove in their brain, and you are starting to own that space that nobody else can get in if you do it. If your messaging is unique and consistent enough, right? I don't know what the current Coke slogan is, but have a Coke and a smile comes to mind. They don't say drink some Coke and grin, right? They say have a Coke and a smile every time you hear it. You don't make these minor adjustments in every time you put it someplace, because what that does is mentally that is it feels unstable. We need structure. No matter how we all want to be free and have the ability to choose what we want to do, we still need the structure, and we need structure and consistency, and that's how you find your voice and how you establish your core message. Now, also one of the biggest things too is we need to learn how to tell our story. And oftentimes we just decide, okay, I want to sell computers, and so I'm gonna sell computers just the way the guy down the street is selling computers, because this is how you sell computers. But maybe you need to do something else. Is there some other way, something else you can say about computers or present it in a way that's different from the way they're doing it? Like maybe they're doing something very corporate and very specific and very technical. But maybe you are going to sell computers for dummies, right? You're going to sell computers and you take away all of the technical language and just talk about the basic pain points that people are facing. And that's how you present everything that you do. And your graphics might not be as technical and crisp. Maybe your graphics are fun and light. And, I mean, that's how you start establishing your own core message. Okay. And then how you tell your story. That's also how you start communicating effectively in social media. And I want you to think about it. Think about social media like being at a party. So if you're at a party, a room full of people, and if you're like me, I know you're not going to believe this, but I really can't stand going into a room full of people that I don't know. Now, if I have a purpose in that room, I'm on. But just walking in on a social situation with a bunch of people I do not know, I don't like it any more than probably you do. But what you have to remember, though, is when you go in, the whole point of a social gathering, the point of a social network is to be social. You have to open yourself up, let people know you, and you've got to make an effort to get to know them, right? So telling your story is just basically letting people inside your world. And another thing I hear a lot, I'm hitting social media a lot, so maybe you all need to hear this, but I often hear people say, "I don't care what you ate for lunch," right? And you may really not care what I ate for lunch, but eating what I ate for lunch is really just a symbol. It's just a symbol for just being concerned about who I am. I just want to share my world with you. Oh my God, this is an amazing meal and it's beautiful. Look at this. I'm about to just really enjoy this. I want you to see it. Click, right? And so that's really what it's about. It's just about sharing the moments. seeing couples that have been married for a long time, and I'm almost tearing up thinking about it, but seeing them celebrate their anniversary, or I just got a new grandbaby. So being able to share that, you may not want to see 100 of the pictures of my grandbaby, but I want to share it with you and let you know that this is something special that happened to me. So I may do that in my business, like with my Gwen Fuchsias, like all of my Gwen Witherspoon coach um, marketing and promotions and social media that I'm doing now associated with Vivid Talk Live, because Vivid Talk is about the entrepreneur lifestyle. It's not just about pure business, like hardcore business. I'm going to share more of my personal life. But so that's part of my core messaging. That's part of me telling my story. That's part of you understanding my motivation for why I'm doing this, right? So the other thing is tone and personality. The same, I kind of touched on that when I talked about the computer example. You got to decide, are you going to be buttoned up and Vivid Talk is, again, because it's about the entrepreneur lifestyle, you probably are not going to see me in like really traditional suits, right? Because it's not just pure business activity. It's part of my life and part of and part of my business, and about personal and business development, right? So and the other piece is consistency, and I also touched on that a little bit earlier as well. Being consistent every time you show up, every time how you talk, how you speak, that's everything. That's how you establish your core message, because it gets to the point where people can recognize your voice no matter what. Almost like they can recognize your voice, they can hear it even if you're not really speaking, because they start to understand what you're like. I mean, think about someone that you know really, really well. If you hear them whisper, even sometimes in a crowded room when they speak, you can hear them. And you want to be like that for your personal branding, for your business, so that you stand out in a crowd. And that's the point. So that's it. That's the core of what I wanted to share with you about the voice today. And again, if you have any questions, you can email me at gwen@gwenwitherspoon.com. You can go to my website, gwenwitherspoon.com, and hit the contact. Send me a message there. You can send me a message in social media, and I'll do my best to respond as quickly as possible. My team will be helping me look out for you. Want to remind you, I'm going to go back and I want to thank our sponsor, Joystick, again. And then I also want to remind you to go and take the quiz. So let me see here. I've got several. So here's the Joystick giveaway. There we go. Go ahead and go to Facebook. I know it's posted there. We'll post it a few more times, and we'll send it out an email. So if you're on my email list at all, if you want to be added to the email list, you want to go to gwenwitherspoon.com/subscribe, and then we'll make sure that we get it out to you. You can go ahead and fill out complete the quiz on gwenwitherspoon.com. It's on the top. It's in a little gray bar at the very top, and you'll see a little green button like this that says take the quiz. Every time you take the quiz one time, but then when you post in social media, comment, share, that you're also going to get some additional entries. And we will see you back here tomorrow at 7. Let me see. I wanted to get you to the credits. Bye.